The short you just watched, I made it over the weekend. No studio, no team of 100 animators, and no render farm. Just me, Fable 5, and ImagineArt's MCP. In 48 hours, I built a full animation studio, the kind of pipeline that requires a building full of people and a budget with a lot of zeros in it. And I'm going to show you exactly how. Here is what nobody tells you about making animation. One little film like that normally moves through a whole chain of people. A writer, a character designer, a storyboard artist, a team of animators, someone on backgrounds, a composer, a sound editor, and a person just to stitch it all together. Every one of them on their own software, none of it really talking to each other, and every handoff loses a little something. It takes months and it costs more than most people would ever put behind an idea. That is the wall everyone hits, and it is where most films quietly die before a single frame ever gets drawn. So I ran the two side by side. Without MCP, it is 10 tools, 3 months, and a bill I just don't want to look at. With MCP, it is one conversation and a weekend, and the same film comes out the other end. That gap right there is the whole reason for this video. The thing that closes the gap is connecting ImagineArt's MCP to Claude. Quick thing, because people mix it up. Fable 5 is Claude's most capable model, the one built for the hardest creative work. It thinks about the story and the taste, and how things should feel, and it writes a little code when the studio needs it. But first of all, it was my creative partner, my director. Fable 5 does the directing and the writing. Imagine MCP makes everything you can see and hear, the characters, the painted worlds, the moving shots, the music, all of it. And because Fable 5 is holding the whole story at once, the look never drifts. The same character stays the same from the first shot to the last. It also runs on skills. Little reusable playbooks I hand to Fable 5. One for building a character sheet, one for breaking a script into storyboard panels, one for the final edit. So the studio is not one-off. It is a real pipeline that repeats, the same way a proper studio has its own way of doing things. So here is the pipeline, start to finish, the way I actually ran it. I describe, Fable 5 directs, and Imagine MCP brings it to life. It starts in the writing room, which is just me talking to Fable 5. I give it the seed, a lighthouse keeper, and a lost whale, and it came back with a tight 3-beat story. A beginning, a turn, an ending that actually lands in 25 seconds. Then, design. I asked Imagine MCP for the keeper, and back came a proper character sheet. The same little man from the front, side, and mid-expression. So he stays the same in every shot. Same for the whale, the lighthouse, the sea, all in one warm painted style I chose once and it held to. Fable 5 broke the story into a storyboard, shot by shot. What is in the frame, where the camera sits, how long each beat holds. That is the blueprint the whole film gets built on. Then the part that used to take a team weeks. I fed the boards back in and Imagine MCP animated the shots, one at a time. The whale rising in the dark water, the keeper cranking the lamp, the beam finally sweeping out over the waves, real movement on my character in my style. Sound came the same way, a score that swells when the light catches, the wash of the sea, a small cue for the whale, all made to picture so I never opened a music library. And Fable 5 cut it together, timed the beats, laid the music under it, and handed me the finished short. It even coded the studio into a simple webpage app, one place where the whole pipeline lives and the film plays. A real working thing, not a picture of one, and that coding part was maybe 2 lines from me. A film nobody sees is just a file on a laptop, so the last piece was getting it out, and this is where it stops being a studio and starts being a platform. Fable 5 and Imagine MCP built a little streaming site. Somewhere you push your films, watch what other creators are making, and run the same pipeline yourself. The whole studio opened up as a community, the films and the tools that made them sitting in one place. then the marketing, and I barely lifted a finger. Fable 5 wrote the whole campaign. Imagine MCP made the posts, the clips, and the thumbnails. And through the connectors, it pushed everything out on its own. To YouTube, to Discord, to X, and to Reddit. Each piece shipped for the platform it landed on. It even spun a few AI creators of its own, accounts that make their own little films and post them. So the platform has some life in it from day one. The whole distribution side, from the finished film all the way to the feed, runs on its own. The kind of thing that used to take a studio and the better part of the year, done by one person in just 2 days. I'm not going to pretend this replaces 100 of artists who love what they do, but if the only reason your film lives in your head is that you could never afford the studio, go and create now, because that reason is gone. So if the thing that has always stopped you is that you can picture it, but you could never make it, this is the easiest way I found to actually get it out of your head. There's a lot more coming on this channel, so subscribe and hit the bell icon and drop me a comment of the film you'd make. I actually do read them, and I might just build yours on here. For now, this is it from me. Keep creating, keep imagining. Take care and peace out. ImagineArt signing off.